That woman's baby is not my grandchild. I won't acknowledge it. Grandmother Dorothy had declared 6 years ago. Now she was dying, 87 years old, her only wish to meet her grandchildren before passing. Problem: Cameron and his wife had no children. Infertility. His lawyer tracked down Zara. Mrs. Dorothy's only biological grandchildren are yours. Zara arrived at the luxury nursing home with triplets. Dorothy wept when she saw them. They're beautiful. The triplets looked at Cameron, who stood in the corner. Mommy, why does that sad man look like us? Dorothy turned to her son. What have we done? But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel and let's get started. Those babies are not my grandchildren. Dorothy Walker stood in the hospital room doorway at Boston Medical Center. Her voice was cold. Her face was hard. She looked at the 3 newborn babies in the clear plastic bassinets. She looked at the black woman lying exhausted in the bed. She looked at her son Cameron holding one of the tiny infants. Mom, please. Cameron's voice shook. He was 32 years old, but he sounded like a child. Dorothy stepped into the room. Her expensive shoes clicked on the floor. She wore pearls and a gray coat. She looked at Zara Thompson in the hospital bed. Zara had just given birth to triplets, 2 boys and 1 girl. The delivery took 14 hours. Zara was exhausted. Her hair stuck to her forehead with sweat. But she was smiling. She was happy. Dorothy did not smile. Cameron, I need to speak with you, in the hallway. Now. Cameron looked down at the baby in his arms. Marcus, his son, the firstborn. Marcus had tiny fingers wrapped around Cameron's thumb. Cameron had been holding his babies for 2 hours. He felt love. He felt fear. He felt everything at once. Mom, can it wait? I want to stay with Zara and the babies. No, it cannot wait. Dorothy turned and walked out of the room. Cameron looked at Zara. Zara's smile faded. She saw something in Cameron's face, something that scared her. It's okay, Zara said. Her voice was tired. Go talk to your mother. The babies and I will be here. Cameron put Marcus back in the bassinet. He kissed Zara's forehead. Then he followed his mother into the bright hospital hallway. Dorothy stood far from the room, far from anyone who could hear. She looked at Cameron with eyes like ice. That woman is not appropriate for our family. Mom, her name is Zara. You know her name. I do not care what her name is. Those babies are not my grandchildren. I will not claim them. Cameron felt cold. The hospital hallway was warm, but he felt frozen. What are you saying? I am saying you need to choose, right now. You can have that woman and those babies. Or you can have your family, your real family, me, your inheritance, your future. Mom, those are my children. I love Zara. Dorothy's face did not change. You think you love her, but this will not work. People will talk. Our family has a reputation, standards. You cannot throw that away for some woman you barely know. I have known Zara for 2 years. We planned this pregnancy. We want these babies. Do you have a job that can support 3 infants? No. You work at my firm. I pay your salary. I pay for your apartment. I pay for everything. If you choose her, all of that ends. You will have nothing. Cameron's hands shook. He put them in his pockets so his mother would not see. You're saying you'll cut me off if I stay with Zara? I am saying I will not support this mistake. Choose now, Cameron, her or your family. Cameron looked back at the hospital room door. Through the small window, he could see Zara. She was looking at the 3 bassinets. She was smiling at their babies. His babies. Marcus, Isaiah, Amara. 3 perfect children. But Cameron was afraid. He had always been afraid of his mother. She controlled everything. What school he attended when he was young, what university he went to, what job he took. Cameron never said no to her. He did not know how. I need time to think. There is no time. Choose now. Cameron closed his eyes. He felt like he could not breathe. I don't know what to do. Dorothy's voice got softer. Not kind, just softer. Go home, Cameron. Go back to your apartment. Think about what you really want. Think about your future. Cameron opened his eyes. What about Zara? What about the babies? They will be fine. She has family in Atlanta. She can go back there. You can send money if you want, but you do not need to be involved. They're my children. Not if you walk away. Cameron stood in the hallway. Hospital staff walked past. A man pushed an elderly woman in a wheelchair. A nurse carried flowers to a room. Normal life continued around him. But Cameron's life was breaking into pieces. He went back into the room. Zara looked up. She saw his face. Her smile disappeared. What did she say? Cameron could not speak. His throat felt closed. He walked to the bassinets. He looked at Isaiah. Then Amara. Then Marcus again. 3 perfect babies. His babies. Cameron, talk to me. What's wrong? My mother has concerns. What kind of concerns? Cameron looked at the floor. He could not look at Zara's face. She thinks this is happening too fast. She thinks we're not ready. We've been planning this for months. You said you wanted this family. I do. I just need to figure some things out. Zara's voice changed. It got harder. What things? Money things. Job things. I need to talk to my mother more. Zara sat up straighter in the bed. Pain crossed her face. She just had surgery. Her body hurt. But she pushed through it. Your mother doesn't want us. Say it clearly. Your mother doesn't want me and these babies because we're black. Cameron's face went red. That's not. Don't lie to me, Cameron. I saw her face when she looked at us. I know what that look means. I've seen it my whole life. Cameron had no words, because Zara was right. He stood there like a statue. Get out. Zara, please, get out of this room, now. Cameron looked at his babies one more time. Then he left. He walked down the hallway. His mother was gone. Cameron drove home to his apartment. He drank half a bottle of whiskey. He did not go back to the hospital that night. The next day, Dorothy sent her lawyer to the hospital. The lawyer's name was Robert Chen. Robert brought papers for Zara to sign. Papers about money. Cameron would send money every month for the children. But he would not visit. He would not call. He would have no legal custody. Zara read the papers with shaking hands. She signed them, not because she wanted Cameron's money, but because her babies deserved it. Cameron owed them that much. 3 days after the birth, Cameron came to the hospital one last time. Zara was packing to leave. Her sister Nicole drove up from Atlanta to help. Cameron walked into the room. Zara did not look at him. Can I hold them? One more time? Zara's voice was ice. Make it fast. Cameron picked up Marcus first. He held him for 30 seconds. Then Isaiah. Then Amara. He kissed each baby's forehead. Tears ran down his face. He put Amara back in her bassinet. Then he walked out. He did not say goodbye to Zara. He did not say anything. He just left. Nicole helped Zara carry the babies to her car. They drove 14 hours back to Atlanta. Zara moved into a small apartment in a neighborhood near Emory University Hospital. She went back to work as a nurse when the babies were 8 weeks old. Her sister watched them during the day. At night, Zara came home exhausted. She fed 3 babies, changed 3 babies, rocked 3 babies to sleep. She did it alone. In Boston, Cameron tried to forget. His mother introduced him to Jennifer Hayes at a charity event. Jennifer was white. She came from a good family. Dorothy approved. Cameron and Jennifer dated for 6 months. Then they got married. Dorothy planned the whole wedding. It cost $80,000. Cameron smiled in all the wedding photos. But at night, he dreamed about 3 babies he left behind. Jennifer wanted children. She wanted them badly. They tried for a year. Nothing happened. They went to doctors. The doctors ran tests. They said Jennifer could not get pregnant. Something was wrong with her body. Jennifer cried every single month. Cameron held her while she cried. He never told her the truth. He never told her he already had 3 children living in another state. He lied for 6 years. Cameron sent money to Zara every month. $2,000. His lawyer handled it. Cameron never called, never asked for pictures, never sent birthday cards. He blocked Zara's number in his phone. He blocked his guilt with alcohol and long hours at work. He pretended Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara did not exist. But they did exist. In Atlanta, 3 beautiful children grew. They learned to walk. They learned to talk. They started school. They asked their mother about their father. Zara showed them one picture. Just one. Cameron holding Marcus in the hospital. She told them their father lived far away. She never said he abandoned them. She never said his mother was racist. She never said he chose money over them. Zara wanted her children to feel loved. She told them every day that they were perfect, that they were wanted, that they were enough. 6 years passed. Cameron was now 38. His hair was turning gray. His marriage was cold. Jennifer stopped smiling. Cameron drank more. His mother, Dorothy, turned 87. Her body started failing. Cancer grew in her lungs. Doctors said she had weeks left, maybe 1 month. Dorothy lay in her expensive room at Riverside Luxury Nursing Home. She had everything money could buy: private nurses, fresh flowers, a view of the Charles River. But every night she had the same dream: 3 babies crying, reaching for her. She tried to hold them, but they disappeared. She woke up screaming. Dorothy called Cameron to her bedside. Her voice was weak. Her hands shook. She looked at her son with dying eyes. "I need to meet them. Before I die, I need to meet my grandchildren." Cameron stared at his mother. Her face was thin and gray. The cancer was eating her from inside. Dorothy's hand gripped the white hospital blanket. Her fingers looked like bones. "What did you say?" Dorothy's voice was barely a whisper. "Your children, Cameron. Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara. I need to see them." Cameron stood up from the chair beside her bed. His heart was beating too fast. "Mom, you said they weren't your grandchildren. You said that 6 years ago. You made me leave them." "I was wrong," Cameron laughed. It was not a happy sound. "You were wrong? That's what you're saying now? After 6 years? Sit down, Cameron. No, I'm not doing this. You're the reason I don't know my children. You're the reason they grew up without a father. You made me choose." Dorothy closed her eyes. A tear ran down her wrinkled cheek. "I know what I did. I remember every word I said. Every day for 6 years, I remembered." "Then why? Why now?" "Because I'm dying. Because I see their faces every night. 3 babies, crying for me, reaching for me. I wake up and I cannot breathe." Cameron walked to the window. Outside, the Charles River reflected the gray sky. Expensive boats sat in the water. Rich people's toys. Everything in this place cost money. Dorothy had money, but money could not buy back 6 years. They probably hate me, Cameron said. They don't know me. I'm nothing to them. That is your fault, and it is my fault too. Cameron turned around. Do you know what I did? I got married. Jennifer and I tried to have kids. She cried every month when she wasn't pregnant. She went through painful treatments. She blamed herself. And the whole time, I had 3 children already. I lied to my wife for 6 years. Does she know now? No, I never told her. Dorothy opened her eyes. You are still lying, still hiding, just like I taught you. Don't blame me for this. You made me leave them. I gave you a choice. You chose money. You chose comfort. You chose me. That was your weakness, not mine. Cameron's face went red. You threatened to cut me off. You said I would have nothing. And you believed me. You were 32 years old, a grown man. But you acted like a child. You ran away from your own babies because I told you to. Cameron had no words. His mother was right. He hated that she was right. Dorothy struggled to sit up in the bed. Help me. Cameron did not move. Dorothy pulled herself up slowly. Pain showed on her face. She breathed hard. When she finally sat upright, she looked at Cameron with clear eyes. I was raised to think certain things. My parents taught me that our kind of people did not mix with other kinds of people. I believed them. I never questioned it. When you brought Zara home, I saw a black woman. That is all I saw. Not a nurse, not someone smart, not someone kind. Just her skin color. I rejected 3 innocent babies because they were brown. That is who I was. That is who I am. Why are you telling me this? Because I want you to understand. Dying changes you. It makes you see clearly. I am 87 years old. I lived my whole life believing I was better than other people. I protected our family name, our reputation, our blood. And now I am dying alone in this expensive room with nothing but regret. Cameron sat down in the chair. He felt tired. So tired. What do you want me to do? Find them. Bring them here. Let me meet my grandchildren before I die. It's too late. Maybe, but I have to try. Cameron put his head in his hands. Zara will never agree. She hates me. She hates you. Why would she bring her children here? Offer her money. You think everything is about money. No, I know money does not fix this, but it might open the door. Talk to her. Explain that I am dying. Ask her. Beg her if you have to. Cameron looked up. I don't even know where they are. I never asked. The lawyer sends money every month, but I never asked for details. Then find out. Hire someone. Do whatever it takes. Cameron stood up. He walked to the door. Then he stopped. What if they come here? And the kids hate us? What if they look at us and see exactly what we are? Cowards. People who abandoned them. Dorothy's voice was strong. Then we deserve that. We deserve their hate. But they deserve to know the truth. They deserve to meet me. They deserve to decide for themselves if they want anything to do with us. Cameron left the room. He walked down the hallway of Riverside Luxury Nursing Home. Old people sat in wheelchairs. Nurses pushed carts. Everything smelled like cleaning products and flowers. Death wrapped in expensive decoration. Cameron got in his car. He sat in the parking lot for 20 minutes. He could not drive. His hands shook too much. That night, Cameron went home to his apartment. Jennifer was in the living room watching television. She looked up when he came in. How is your mother? Dying. The doctors say weeks, maybe less. Jennifer turned off the television. I'm sorry, Cameron. I know you two have a complicated relationship, but she's still your mother. Cameron poured himself whiskey. He drank it fast. Then he poured another glass. Jennifer watched him. She was used to seeing him drink, but tonight felt different. "Are you okay?" "No." "Do you want to talk about it?" Cameron looked at his wife. Jennifer was beautiful. Blonde hair, blue eyes. She came from a good family in Connecticut. Dorothy loved Jennifer. Jennifer was appropriate. Jennifer was acceptable. Jennifer was white. Cameron almost told her. The words were in his throat. "I have 3 children. I left them 6 years ago. My mother made me choose, and I chose wrong." But fear stopped him. Jennifer would leave. She would hate him. He would lose everything. So Cameron said nothing. He drank his whiskey. He told Jennifer he was tired. He went to bed. But Cameron could not sleep. He stared at the ceiling. He thought about 3 children growing up without him. He thought about Marcus, the firstborn. He would be 6 years old now. What did he look like? Did he look like Cameron? Did he go to school? What did he like to do? Cameron realized he knew nothing about his own son. Nothing about Isaiah. Nothing about Amara. They were strangers. At 2 in the morning, Cameron got out of bed. He went to his office. He opened his laptop. He searched for private investigators in Boston. He found one named Marcus Reed. The website said Marcus Reed specialized in finding people. Cameron sent an email. He wrote, "I need to find someone in Atlanta, Georgia. Her name is Zara Thompson. She has 3 children. I need an address and phone number. How fast can you do this?" The response came 30 minutes later. Marcus Reed was awake. He wrote, "I can find anyone in 3 days or less. My fee is $2,000, half now, half when I deliver the information. Do you want to proceed?" Cameron sent the money. He wrote, "Find her as fast as you can. This is urgent." Cameron closed his laptop. He went back to bed. Jennifer was asleep. Cameron lay next to her. He felt like he was falling, like the ground was disappearing under him. His mother was dying. She wanted to meet the grandchildren she rejected. Cameron had to face Zara. He had to face his children. He had to face what he did 6 years ago. 3 days later, Cameron's phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. "Mr. Walker? This is Marcus Reed. I found Zara Thompson." Cameron's mouth went dry. "Where is she?" "Atlanta. She works at Emory University Hospital. Day shift. She lives in an apartment on Moreland Avenue. She has 3 children, Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara. They go to Parkside Elementary School. I'm sending you her current address and phone number now." Cameron's phone buzzed. The information appeared. Zara's address, her phone number, her workplace, everything. It was that easy. For 6 years, Cameron told himself he did not know where they were, that he could not find them, but he could have found them any time. He chose not to. "Mr. Walker? Did you receive the information?" "Yes, thank you. The rest of my fee is due now. I'll send you the invoice." "That's fine." Marcus Reed hung up. Cameron stared at Zara's phone number on his screen. His finger hovered over it. He could call. He could talk to her right now. But he was too afraid. Cameron had never been brave, not 6 years ago, not now. He called someone else instead. He called his lawyer. Robert Chen answered on the second ring. "Robert, I need your help. I need you to fly to Atlanta and meet with someone for me." Robert Chen was quiet on the phone. Cameron heard him breathing. Finally, Robert spoke. "Who do you need me to meet?" "Her name is Zara Thompson. She lives in Atlanta. She has my children." Another long silence. "I didn't know you had children." "Nobody knows. It happened 6 years ago. I left them. My mother made me choose. I chose wrong." "Cameron, I'm your lawyer, not your messenger. If you need to talk to this woman, you should call her yourself." "I can't. She won't talk to me. But she might talk to you. My mother is dying. She wants to meet the children before she dies. I need you to ask Zara to bring them to Boston. This is not my job. I'll pay you whatever you want. Please, Robert. I don't know what else to do. Robert sighed. Fine. Send me her information. I'll fly down tomorrow, but Cameron, you need to face this yourself eventually. You can't hide forever. I know. But Cameron did not know. He had been hiding for 6 years. He was good at it. The next day, Robert Chen flew from Boston to Atlanta. The flight took 2 hours and 45 minutes. Robert rented a car at the airport. He drove to a hotel downtown. He checked in. Then he called Zara's number. The phone rang 4 times. A woman answered. Hello? Is this Zara Thompson? Who's asking? My name is Robert Chen. I'm a lawyer from Boston. I represent Cameron Walker. The line went silent. Robert thought she hung up. Then Zara's voice came back. It was cold. I don't want to talk to Cameron Walker. I don't want his money. Leave me alone. Please, Miss Thompson, I'm not calling about money. This is about Cameron's mother, Dorothy Walker. She's dying? Good. Robert was surprised, but he understood. I know you have no reason to care. I know what happened 6 years ago, Cameron told me. But Dorothy wants to meet her grandchildren before she dies. She asked me to fly here and talk to you in person. She had 6 years to care about my children. Now she's dying and suddenly she wants to meet them? No. The answer is no. I understand. But can I meet with you? Just 10 minutes, face to face. After that, if you still say no, I'll leave and never contact you again. Zara was quiet. Robert waited. He could hear voices in the background, children's voices, her children, Cameron's children. 10 minutes, that's all you get. There's a coffee shop on Peachtree Street called Java House. I'll meet you there tomorrow at 2 in the afternoon. Don't be late. Thank you, Miss Thompson. I'll be there. Zara hung up. Robert sat on his hotel bed. He felt tired. He did not want to do this. But it was his job. The next day, Robert arrived at Java House at 1:45. He ordered coffee and sat by the window. At exactly 2 o'clock, Zara walked in. Robert recognized her from the photo the investigator provided. She was shorter than he expected. She wore blue scrubs. Her hair was pulled back in a tight bun. Her face showed no emotion. She saw Robert and walked to his table. She did not sit down. Are you Robert Chen? Yes, thank you for coming. Please, sit. Zara sat down. She put her purse on the table. 10 minutes. Start talking. Robert took a folder from his briefcase. Dorothy Walker has lung cancer, stage 4. The doctors gave her 3 weeks, maybe less. She's at Riverside Luxury Nursing Home in Boston. She asked Cameron to find you. She wants to meet Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara before she dies. Zara's face did not change. Why? She says she was wrong. She says she regrets what she did. She wants to apologize. Zara laughed. It was a bitter sound. No joy in it. She regrets it? Now? After 6 years of pretending my children don't exist? I'm just delivering the message. I don't expect you to forgive her. Nobody expects that. Good, because I don't. And my children don't know her. They don't need to know her. Robert nodded. I understand. But I have something for you, from Dorothy. He pulled an envelope from the folder. It was cream-colored, expensive paper. Dorothy's handwriting on the front said, For Zara Thompson. Robert put it on the table. Zara stared at it. She did not touch it. I don't want to read anything she wrote. That's your choice. But I flew here to give this to you. At least take it. Zara picked up the envelope. She held it like it might burn her. She opened it slowly. Inside was a letter. 2 pages. Dorothy's shaky handwriting covered both pages. Zara began to read. Her face stayed hard, but her hands started to shake. Robert watched her. He could not read the letter from where he sat, but he knew what it probably said. Apologies, regrets, please forgive me. The same things dying people always said. Zara finished reading. She folded the letter. She put it back in the envelope. She looked at Robert. Her eyes were angry, not sad, angry. She writes about regret, about being wrong, about how she wants to see her grandchildren's faces one time before she dies. She says she knows she doesn't deserve it. What do you want to do? I want to tell her no. I want to tell her she can die alone with her guilt. She rejected 3 babies because of their skin color. She destroyed her son. She destroyed my family. Why should I help her die in peace? You shouldn't. You don't owe her anything. Zara stood up. Is that all? Yes, that's all. I'm sorry for what happened to you. I'm sorry for what Cameron did. For what it's worth, I think he's a coward. Zara's face softened just a little. At least you're honest. Thank you for that. She took the envelope. She walked out of the coffee shop. Robert sat alone with his coffee. He called Cameron. Cameron answered immediately. What did she say? She said no. She took the letter, but she doesn't want to bring the children. I'm sorry, Cameron. I tried. Cameron was quiet. Then he said, Okay, thank you for trying. Come home. Robert hung up. He finished his coffee. Then he drove back to his hotel. His job was done. But he felt bad. Not for Cameron. Not for Dorothy. For Zara. For those 3 children who never asked for any of this. That night, Zara came home to her apartment. It was small. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. The furniture was old, but clean. Her sister, Nicole, was there. Nicole watched the children after school. Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara were at the kitchen table doing homework. They looked up when Zara came in. Mommy! Amara ran to her. Zara picked her up and held her tight. Hi, baby. How was school? Good. We learned about shapes. I like triangles. Triangles are good. Marcus and Isaiah came over. They hugged their mother. Zara felt tears in her eyes. She pushed them back. She did not cry in front of her children. Nicole pulled Zara aside. You okay? You look upset. I'm fine. Long day at work. You sure? I'm sure. Thank you for watching them. I'll call you later. Nicole left. Zara made dinner. Spaghetti. The children loved spaghetti. They ate and talked about their day. Marcus told her about his science project. Isaiah showed her a drawing of a dinosaur. Amara sang a song she learned in music class. Normal life. Their life. The life Zara built alone. After dinner, Zara gave the children baths. She read them bedtime stories. She tucked them into their beds. Marcus and Isaiah shared one room. Amara had the smaller room to herself. When they were all asleep, Zara went to her own room. She sat on her bed. She took out Dorothy's letter. She read it again. Dorothy wrote about her mistakes, about how she was raised to believe black people were less than white people, about how she rejected the triplets without even knowing them, about how she saw their pictures later and realized what she had done, about the dreams she had every night. 3 babies crying, reaching for her, about how she wanted to see them just once before she died, about how she knew Zara had every right to say no. Zara felt rage. Her hands shook. She wanted to rip the letter into pieces. She wanted to throw it away. She wanted to forget it existed. But something stopped her. Zara thought about her own father. He died when she was 7 years old. Heart attack. Sudden. No warning. No goodbye. Zara remembered crying at the funeral. She remembered wanting one more day with him. 1 more hour. 1 more minute. She never got it. Marcus asked about his father every few months. So did Isaiah and Amara. They saw other kids with fathers. They wanted to know why theirs did not live with them. Zara showed them one picture. She said he lived far away. She never told them he abandoned them. She never told them about Dorothy's ultimatum. She never told them about racism destroying their family before it even started. Zara looked at her children's bedroom doors. They were sleeping, safe, loved. But they did not know the truth. Maybe they deserved to know. Maybe they deserved to meet their grandmother. Not for Dorothy's peace, for their own understanding. Zara picked up her phone. She called her sister, Nicole. "Zara, it's late. What's wrong?" "I think I'm taking the kids to Boston." Nicole's voice exploded through the phone. "What? No, Zara, no. Are you serious right now?" Zara held the phone away from her ear. "I'm serious. I've been thinking about it all evening. That woman doesn't deserve to meet your babies. She rejected them. She made Cameron abandon them. And now she's dying and wants forgiveness? No, don't do this." "I'm not doing it for her." "Then why? Why would you drive all the way to Boston for people who threw you away?" Zara looked at Dorothy's letter on her bed. "Because Marcus asks me about his father. Because Isaiah wants to know why we don't have grandparents. Because Amara sees other kids with big families and wonders why it's just us. They deserve to know the truth. They deserve to meet their grandmother and decide for themselves how they feel. They're 6 years old, Zara. They don't need this." "Maybe not, but I do. I need them to understand why their father isn't here. I need them to see what happened. I never told them the truth. I said their father lives far away. That's a lie. He lives in Boston, and he chose to stay away. They need to know that." Nicole was quiet for a moment. Then her voice came back softer. "When are you going?" "Soon. I need to take time off work. I need to pack. Maybe 3 days from now." "How long will you be gone?" "I don't know. A few days, maybe a week." "Do you want me to come with you?" "No. This is something I need to do alone with my kids, but thank you. Call me if you need anything, anything at all. I love you." "I love you too." Zara hung up. She sat in the quiet apartment. Outside she heard traffic, a siren in the distance, normal city sounds. But inside everything felt different. She was about to take her children to meet the family that rejected them. She was about to face Cameron again. The thought made her sick. The next morning, Zara called her supervisor at Emory University Hospital. Her supervisor's name was Patricia. Patricia was a good boss. She understood when nurses needed time off. "Patricia, I need to take a week off. Family emergency." "Is everything okay?" "Not really, but I need to handle it. Can you cover my shifts?" "Yes, don't worry about it. Take care of your family. We'll be here when you get back." "Thank you." Zara hung up. She had 3 days to prepare. She started packing that night. She pulled out old suitcases from her closet. She packed clothes for herself. Clothes for Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara. She packed snacks. She packed games and books for the car ride. She packed everything 3 times because she kept forgetting things. Her hands shook while she packed. Fear and anger mixed together in her chest. 2 days later, Zara sat her children down at the kitchen table. It was evening. They had finished dinner. Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara looked at their mother. They knew something important was happening. "We're going on a trip," Zara said. The children got excited. They had never been on a trip before. Amara clapped her hands. They knew something important was happening. "We're going on a trip," Zara said. The children got excited. They had never been on a trip before. Amara clapped her hands. "Where are we going?" "Boston. It's a city far from here. We'll drive there." "How far?" Marcus asked. He was always the one who asked questions. "Very far. It will take 2 days of driving." "Why are we going?" Isaiah asked. Zara took a deep breath. "You're going to meet your grandmother." The children went quiet. They knew they had a grandmother. They knew other kids had grandparents, but they never met any of theirs. Zara's mother died before they were born. They did not know anything about Cameron's mother. "The one from Daddy's side?" Marcus asked. "Yes." "Why now?" Marcus's face was serious, too serious for a 6-year-old. "Because she wants to meet you. She lives in Boston. She's very sick. She might die soon. She wants to see you before that happens." "Is Daddy there too?" Amara's voice was small. Zara's throat felt tight. "Yes, your father lives in Boston. You'll probably see him too." Marcus stood up. "I don't want to see him. He doesn't live with us. He doesn't want us." "Marcus, it's true. If he wanted us, he would be here. He would live with us. But he doesn't. So I don't want to see him." Isaiah started crying. "Don't have to. This trip is for you to understand, to see, to know the truth." "What truth?" Marcus asked. "The truth about why he's not here. Why it's just us. You'll understand when we get there." The next morning, Zara loaded the car before the sun came up. She put the suitcases in the trunk. She put snacks and drinks in the back seat. She checked everything twice. Then she woke the children. They were sleepy and confused. She dressed them. She gave them breakfast. Then she put them in the car. "Are we really going now?" Amara rubbed her eyes. "Yes, baby. It's a long drive. We need to start early." Zara pulled out of the apartment complex parking lot. She drove through empty Atlanta streets. The city was just waking up. By the time the sun rose, they were on the highway heading north. Marcus sat behind Zara. Isaiah sat in the middle. Amara sat behind the passenger seat. They watched the world go by through the windows. They drove through Georgia. The children played games. They counted red cars. They sang songs. Zara tried to keep things normal, fun. But her hands gripped the steering wheel tight. Her jaw hurt from clenching her teeth. They stopped for lunch at a rest stop in South Carolina. The children ran around. They had been sitting for hours. They needed to move. Zara bought them hamburgers and fries. They ate at a picnic table outside. The sun was warm. The sky was blue. It was a beautiful day. But Zara felt cold inside. "How much longer?" Isaiah asked. "We're going to stop at a hotel tonight. Then we'll drive more tomorrow. We'll get to Boston tomorrow evening." "What's a hotel?" Amara had never stayed in one. "It's a place where people sleep when they're traveling. It has beds and a bathroom. You'll like it." They got back in the car. They drove through South Carolina, then into North Carolina. The children fell asleep in the back seat. Zara drove in silence. She thought about seeing Cameron. She had not seen him in 6 years, not since the hospital, not since he walked away from their babies. She felt nothing for him now, not love, not hate, just nothing. He was empty to her, a ghost. They arrived in Charlotte, North Carolina when the sun was setting. Zara found a cheap motel. It cost $49 a night. She paid cash. The room had 2 beds and a small bathroom. The carpet was old. The walls were thin, but it was clean. The children thought it was exciting. They jumped on the beds. They explored the bathroom. They watched television. Zara ordered pizza. They ate and watched cartoons. Then she put them to bed. Marcus and Isaiah shared one bed. Amara slept with Zara in the other. Zara lay awake all night. She stared at the ceiling. She heard trucks on the highway. She heard people in the next room. She heard Amara breathing beside her. She thought about tomorrow. Tomorrow, they would arrive in Boston. Tomorrow, her children would meet their grandmother. Tomorrow, they would see their father. Zara felt sick. The sun came up. Zara got the children dressed. They had breakfast at a fast food restaurant. Then they got back on the highway. They drove through North Carolina, then Virginia, then Maryland. The landscape changed, different trees, different buildings. Everything looked older. The children noticed. "Why do the houses look different?" Marcus asked. "Because we're in a different part of the country. Things look different here." They crossed into Massachusetts in the late afternoon. The GPS said they were 1 hour from Boston. Zara's heart started beating faster. Her hands were sweating. She wiped them on her jeans. "Are we almost there?" Amara asked. "Yes, baby. Almost there." They drove into Boston as the sun was getting low. The city was big. Tall buildings, lots of traffic. The children stared out the windows. They had never seen a city this big. Zara followed the GPS. It took her through streets she did not know, past places she had never seen. Finally, the GPS said, "You have arrived at your destination." Zara pulled into a parking lot. In front of her was a beautiful building, Riverside Luxury Nursing Home. It looked expensive. Glass windows, stone walls, flowers everywhere. Zara parked the car. She turned off the engine. She sat there. She could not move. "Mommy, is this it?" Marcus asked. "Yes, this is it." Zara looked at her children in the rearview mirror. They wore their best clothes. Amara had colorful beads in her braids. Marcus and Isaiah wore matching blue button-up shirts. They looked beautiful. Perfect. She felt pride and pain at the same time. "Are you ready?" Zara asked. The children nodded. They looked nervous. Zara took a deep breath. She opened her door. She got out. She helped the children out of the car. She held Amara's hand. Marcus and Isaiah stood close to her. They all looked at the building. Zara's voice shook when she spoke. "You're about to meet your grandmother and your father." They walked toward the entrance. Amara held Zara's hand tight. Marcus and Isaiah stayed close to their mother. The building had glass doors, automatic. They opened when Zara stepped close. Inside was a lobby. It looked expensive. Leather chairs, a chandelier, fresh flowers on a table. Classical music played softly. Everything was clean and perfect. This was where rich people came to die. A woman sat behind a desk. She wore a nurse's uniform. She smiled when she saw them. "Can I help you?" "We're here to see Dorothy Walker. I'm Zara Thompson. She's expecting us." The nurse looked at her computer. "Yes, Mrs. Walker told us you were coming. She's very excited. Her room is down that hallway, room 112. I'll take you there." The nurse came around the desk. She smiled at the children. "Hello? What are your names?" The children were shy. They pressed against their mother. Finally, Marcus spoke. "I'm Marcus. That's Isaiah. That's Amara. Those are beautiful names. Your grandmother has been waiting for you all day." They followed the nurse down a long hallway. The floor was shiny. The walls had paintings. Everything smelled like flowers and cleaning products. Zara felt like she could not breathe. Every step was harder than the last. Cameron stood by a window at the end of the hallway. He had been there for 2 hours. He could not sit still. His hands shook. His stomach hurt. He wore a suit. He did not know why he wore a suit. Maybe because he wanted to look good. Maybe because he wanted his children to see him and think he was successful. He did not know. He was not thinking clearly. A woman stood beside him. Jennifer, his wife. Cameron told her the truth last night. He finally told her. He said he had 3 children. He said they were 6 years old. He said he left them. Jennifer's face went white. She asked how he could lie for 6 years. Cameron had no answer. Jennifer should have left. She should have walked out. But she came to the nursing home anyway. She wanted to see the children Cameron threw away. She wanted to see what he chose his mother over. Cameron saw movement at the entrance. He looked. His heart stopped. Zara, walking through the door. She looked the same, older, tired, but the same. She held a little girl's hand. 2 boys walked beside her. Cameron stopped breathing. His children, Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara. Real, here, in front of him. Marcus looked exactly like Cameron did as a child. Same face, same serious expression. Isaiah was smaller, softer. He looked nervous. Amara had beads in her braids. They clicked when she moved her head. All 3 children were beautiful. Perfect. Cameron's eyes filled with tears. He could not stop them. They ran down his face. "Cameron?" Jennifer's voice was quiet. "Are those them?" Cameron could not speak. He nodded. His legs felt weak. He wanted to run to them. He wanted to hold them. But his body would not move. He just stood there, crying, watching his children walk toward him. The nurse led Zara and the children down the hallway. Zara saw Cameron. Her face went hard, cold. She looked at him for 1 second. Then she looked away. She walked past him without saying anything. Marcus stared at Cameron. Isaiah stared. Amara stared. They did not know who this crying man was. Not yet. Cameron tried to speak. "Zara." She did not stop. She kept walking, following the nurse. Cameron took a step forward. Jennifer grabbed his arm. "Don't, not yet. Let her go to your mother first." Cameron watched them walk away. His children. So close. But they looked at him like he was a stranger. Because he was. He was nothing to them. The nurse stopped at a door. "Room 112. She knocked softly. "Mrs. Walker? Your visitors are here." A weak voice came from inside. "Bring them in, please." The nurse opened the door. Zara held Amara's hand tighter. Marcus and Isaiah moved closer to her. They walked into the room. Dorothy sat in a chair by the window. The window had a view of the Charles River. Water, boats, sky. But Dorothy was not looking outside. She was looking at the door. Waiting. Dorothy looked terrible. She was thin. So thin her bones showed through her skin. Her hair was white and thin. Her face was gray. Cancer was eating her alive. But her eyes were alert, sharp. When the door opened, those eyes focused on 3 children walking into her room. Dorothy saw Marcus first. He looked like Cameron, exactly like Cameron when he was young. Same face, same way of standing. Then Isaiah, softer features, gentle eyes. Then Amara, small, beautiful, curious. Dorothy saw her own mother in Amara's face, the same nose, the same chin. These were her grandchildren, her blood, her family. Dorothy tried to stand. Her legs shook. She put her hands on the arms of the chair. She pushed herself up slowly. Pain crossed her face, but she kept going until she was standing. She put one hand over her mouth. The other hand gripped the chair to keep from falling. Then she started crying. Not quiet tears, deep sobs that shook her whole body. Her shoulders moved, her face twisted. She cried like her heart was breaking. Because it was. "I'm sorry." Dorothy's voice was broken, shaking. "I'm so sorry. Look at you. Look at you. You're perfect. You're beautiful. I'm so sorry." The children did not understand. They looked at this old white woman crying. They did not know what to do. Amara moved closer to Zara. Isaiah grabbed his mother's other hand. Marcus stood still. He watched Dorothy carefully. His face showed nothing. The nurse stepped forward. "Mrs. Walker, please sit. You're too weak to stand." Dorothy shook her head. "No, I need to see them. I need to look at them." Her eyes moved from child to child. She was memorizing their faces. "What are your names? Tell me your names." The children were quiet. They looked at their mother. Zara's jaw was tight. She did not want to be here. But she came for her children. She nodded at them. Marcus spoke first. He always spoke first. He was the brave one. "I'm Marcus." "Marcus," Dorothy repeated it. Her voice was soft. "That's a strong name." "I'm Isaiah," the middle boy said quietly. "Isaiah. Beautiful." Amara pressed against her mother. She did not want to talk, but Dorothy looked at her with such sadness, such longing. Finally, Amara spoke. Her voice was tiny. "I'm Amara. Amara." Dorothy's tears came harder. "You look like my mother, your great-grandmother. She would have loved you." Cameron stood in the doorway now. He could not stay in the hallway. He had to see. Jennifer stood behind him. She watched everything. Her face was unreadable. Cameron saw his children's backs. He saw his mother crying. He saw Zara standing like a stone wall, protecting her children. His children. The children he left. Isaiah noticed Cameron first. He turned around. He saw a tall man in a suit, crying. Isaiah pointed. "Mommy, who is that man?" Zara's whole body went rigid. She turned slowly. She looked at Cameron. Her eyes were empty, dead. When she spoke, her voice had no emotion, just flat words. "That's your father." The room went completely silent. The only sound was Dorothy crying. Marcus turned around. Isaiah's hand dropped. Amara peeked around her mother's leg. All three children stared at Cameron. They had seen his picture. One picture. The one Zara kept in a drawer. Cameron holding a baby in a hospital. But seeing him now was different. He was real. Standing there. Tall. Crying. Real. Amara's small voice broke the silence. "Why doesn't he live with us?" Cameron's mouth opened. No sound came out. His throat was closed. He could not breathe. Could not think. The question hung in the air. Why doesn't he live with us? It was the question he feared most. The question he had no good answer for. Cameron tried to speak. His voice came out broken. I... Nothing. He had nothing to say. Tears ran down his face. His hands shook. He looked at Amara, his daughter. She was so small, so beautiful. She deserved an answer. But Cameron had no words. Dorothy spoke instead. Her voice was weak, but clear. "Because I told him not to. Because I told him to leave you. Because I was wrong. Because I was cruel." The children looked confused. They did not understand. Marcus's face was serious. His young eyes studied Dorothy. Then Cameron, then back to Dorothy. Something was wrong here. He could feel it. Dorothy looked at Zara. "Please, tell them the truth. They deserve the truth." Zara felt rage building inside her chest. She did not want to do this, not here, not in front of these people. But her children were looking at her with questions in their eyes. They needed to understand. They came all this way. They deserved to know. Zara knelt down. She got to Marcus's level, Isaiah's level, Amara's level. She took a deep breath. She looked at each of her children. Then she spoke clearly, slowly. "Your grandmother didn't want you because your skin is brown. She didn't want me because I'm black. She told your father to leave us. And he did." The words fell into the room like stones. Heavy, final, true. Marcus's face changed. He was 6 years old, but he was smart. He understood what his mother was saying. He had felt racism before. At school, a boy told him he couldn't play because of his skin color. At a store, a woman followed him and his mother. At a birthday party, a parent said he wasn't invited. Marcus knew what racism was. He looked at Dorothy. His voice was hard. "You didn't want us because we're black?" Dorothy's face crumbled. She nodded. She could barely speak through her tears. "Yes, and I was wrong. I was so wrong. I was taught bad things. I believed bad things. I hurt you. I hurt your mother. I hurt your father. I destroyed our family because of hate. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Isaiah started crying. He didn't fully understand everything, but he understood something terrible happened, something bad. He felt it. Tears ran down his face. He held his mother's hand tight. Amara pressed her face against Zara's shoulder. She was scared. She didn't like this place. She didn't like seeing the old woman cry. She didn't like the tall man in the doorway. She wanted to go home. Marcus didn't cry. He just stared at Dorothy. Then he turned to Cameron. Cameron was leaning against the doorframe. His face was red and wet. He looked broken. Marcus looked at his father. This 6-year-old boy looked at the man who left him. The man who chose his mother's racism over his own children. Cameron finally found his voice. "I should have stayed. I should have chosen you. I should have fought for you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Marcus's voice was cold, sharp. "You're not my daddy." Cameron's face broke. "Marcus, please. Daddies don't leave. Daddies stay with their kids. They live with them. They take care of them. You left. You're not my daddy. You're just a man." The words destroyed Cameron. Each one hit him harder than the last. He made a sound, a sob. It came from deep in his chest. He couldn't stand in that room anymore. He couldn't look at his son's face. He turned. He ran down the hallway. He was having a panic attack. He couldn't breathe. His chest hurt. His vision was blurry. Jennifer had been standing behind Cameron. She watched everything. She heard everything. She saw 3 beautiful black children. She saw Cameron's mother confessing to racism. She saw Cameron broken and crying. She saw the woman Cameron lied about for 6 years. She saw the children Cameron abandoned. Jennifer felt sick. She followed Cameron into the hallway. He was leaning against the wall, gasping for air. His whole body shook. Jennifer stood there. She looked at her husband. She thought she knew him. She thought they had no secrets. But he lied to her for 6 years. He had 3 children and never said a word. He let her go through painful treatments to get pregnant. He let her cry every month. He let her blame herself for not being able to have babies when he already had 3. Jennifer's voice was ice. "How could you do this to me?" Cameron looked up. His face was destroyed. "Jennifer, You lied to me for 6 years. 6 years, Cameron. You had 3 children. 3. And you never told me. You let me think we couldn't have kids. You let me think it was my fault. I'm sorry. I didn't know how to tell you. I was ashamed. I was wrong. Your mother made you choose. That's what she said in there. She gave you an ultimatum, and you chose her. You chose her money and approval over your own children. I was weak. I was scared. You were a coward. Jennifer's voice shook. You are a coward. I don't know who you are. I thought I married a good man, but you're not good. You're weak and selfish, and you destroyed those children's lives. Please, Jennifer, don't leave me. I need you. Jennifer shook her head. She felt tears coming, but she pushed them back. I'm filing for divorce. I'm done. I can't be married to someone who would do this, who would lie to me for years, who would abandon his own babies. She walked away. Her heels clicked on the shiny floor. Cameron watched her go, his wife, leaving, just like Zara left, just like his children never came to him in the first place. He was alone, completely alone. Inside the room, Dorothy sat down. She had no more strength. The nurse helped her into the chair. Dorothy looked at the 3 children. Zara was still kneeling, still holding her babies, protecting them. Dorothy's voice was weak. I know you have no reason to forgive me. I know I don't deserve it, but thank you for coming. Thank you for letting me see them. They're beautiful. You raised them well. You did it alone. You're a better mother than I ever was. A better person than I ever was." Zara stood up. She started gathering her children. "We're leaving." "Please." Dorothy's voice broke. "Just a little more time. I'm dying. I'll never get another chance. Please." Zara wanted to say no. She wanted to take her children and drive back to Atlanta. She wanted to forget this trip ever happened. But she saw something in Dorothy's face. Real regret. Real pain. True suffering. And she saw her children's faces. They were confused, hurt, but also curious. Marcus was staring at Dorothy, studying her. Isaiah had stopped crying. He was looking at the old woman with something that might be pity. Amara was peeking around Zara's leg. Zara made a decision. Not for Dorothy, not for Cameron, for her children. "We'll stay in Boston for a few days. You can see them. 2 hours each day. That's all you get." Dorothy's face showed relief. Gratitude. "Thank you. Thank you so much." "Don't thank me. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for them. They deserve to know the truth. They deserve to understand what happened. They deserve to decide for themselves how they feel about you." "I understand." Zara looked at her children. "Come on, we're going to find a hotel. We'll come back tomorrow." The children followed their mother out of the room. They walked down the hallway. Cameron was still there, leaning against the wall. His face was red. His eyes were swollen. He looked at them as they passed. Marcus looked back once. His face showed nothing. No anger, no sadness, just nothing. Then he turned away. They walked out of the building, back to their car, back to safety. Cameron stood alone in the hallway. Jennifer was gone. His mother was dying. His children looked at him like a stranger. He had money in the bank, but no family. He had a nice apartment, but no one to come home to. He had everything and nothing at the same time. That night, Zara found a cheap hotel near the nursing home. She got one room with 2 beds. The children were quiet. They didn't jump on the beds. They didn't play. They just sat there, processing, trying to understand. Zara ordered pizza. They ate in silence. Finally, Marcus spoke. "Mommy, I don't want to forgive them." Zara looked at her son, her strong, brave boy. "You don't have to. We're here for you to understand, not to forgive. You decide how you feel. That's your choice." Marcus nodded. "Good, because I won't forgive them. Ever." Zara woke up early the next morning. The hotel room was dark, quiet. She looked at her children sleeping in the other bed. Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara. They were tangled together, safe. She wanted to pack up and leave. Drive back to Atlanta. Forget this trip. But she promised Dorothy 2 hours each day. Zara kept her promises, even to people she did not like. They ate breakfast at a small diner near the hotel, pancakes and eggs. The children were still quiet, not their normal selves. Zara tried to make conversation. "What do you want to do after we visit today?" "Can we go to a park?" Amara asked. "Yes, we'll find a park." "I want to go home," Isaiah said quietly. "We will, in a few days. But first, we need to visit your grandmother." Marcus said nothing. He ate his pancakes and stared out the window. His face was hard, closed off. Zara knew that look. Marcus was angry. He held anger inside instead of letting it out, just like his mother. They drove to Riverside Luxury Nursing Home at 10 o'clock in the morning. The same nurse from yesterday greeted them at the door. "Good morning. Mrs. Walker has been awake since 6. She's very excited to see you." They walked down the hallway to room 112. Zara knocked. Dorothy's voice called out, "Come in." Dorothy sat in the same chair by the window. But today she looked more awake, more alert. She had put on nice clothes, a soft blue sweater. She had brushed her hair. She was trying. Zara saw that. Dorothy smiled when the children walked in. It was a sad smile, hopeful. "Good morning. Thank you for coming back. I wasn't sure you would." Zara sat in a chair across from Dorothy. The children stood close to their mother. "I keep my promises. We'll stay for 2 hours. Then we leave." "I understand." "Thank you." Dorothy looked at the children. "Would you like to sit down? I have some things to show you." Marcus stayed standing, but Isaiah and Amara sat on a small couch against the wall. Dorothy pulled out a photo album. It was old. The cover was worn. She opened it slowly. "These are pictures of your father when he was young." The children leaned forward. They were curious. Dorothy pointed to a picture. "This is Cameron when he was 6 years old, the same age as you." Marcus stepped closer. He looked at the picture. The boy in the photo looked exactly like him. Same face, same serious expression. It was strange to see. "He looks like me." "Yes, you look just like him. You have his eyes, his face, even the way you stand." Dorothy turned the page. More pictures. Cameron at 7, at 8, at 10, playing in a yard, riding a bike, standing with his father. "This is your grandfather. He died when Cameron was 12, heart attack." Isaiah spoke softly. "What was his name?" "Richard. Richard Walker. He was a good man. He would have loved you." Dorothy kept turning pages. The children watched. They saw their father grow up in pictures, a life they knew nothing about. Dorothy told stories with each picture. "This was Cameron's first day of school. He cried. He didn't want me to leave. This was his 10th birthday party. He wanted a science kit. He loved science." "I love science too," Marcus said. His voice was still cold, but he was interested. "Do you? What kind of science?" "Space, planets, stars." Dorothy smiled. "Cameron loved space when he was your age. He had books about astronauts. He wanted to go to the moon." They spent an hour looking at pictures. Dorothy showed them photos of her own parents, the children's great-grandparents. "This is my mother. Her name was Helen. Amara, you look like her. You have her nose, her smile." Amara touched her own nose. "Really?" "Yes. She was beautiful, just like you." Dorothy put the album down. She looked tired. Talking took energy she did not have. But she kept going. "Tell me about yourselves. What do you like to do?" Marcus answered first. "I like reading and science. I want to study space when I grow up." "That's wonderful. You're smart, I can tell." Isaiah showed Dorothy a small notebook. "I draw. I brought this with me." "Can I see?" Isaiah opened the notebook. Pages filled with drawings, animals, cars, buildings, superheroes. Dorothy looked at each one carefully. "These are very good. You have talent." Isaiah smiled. It was the first time he smiled since they arrived in Boston. Dorothy felt something in her chest. Joy, pain, both at once. Amara stood up. She walked closer to Dorothy. "I sing. Do you want to hear?" "I would love that." Amara sang a song she learned in school. Her voice was small and clear. She sang about sunshine and flowers. When she finished, Dorothy was crying again. "That was beautiful. You have a gift." The door opened. Cameron stood there. He looked terrible. His eyes were red. His clothes were wrinkled. He had not slept. "Can I come in, please? I just want to see them." Marcus turned around. His face went cold, hard. "No, we don't want you here." "Marcus, please. I'm your father." "You're not my father. You're nothing to us." Marcus looked at his brother and sister. "Right?" Isaiah nodded. Amara moved back to her mother. Cameron's face broke. He looked at Zara. "Please, tell them to give me a chance." Zara's voice was flat. "They don't want to see you. Leave. Zara, leave, now, or we're leaving and not coming back." Cameron stood in the doorway. He wanted to argue, to beg, but he saw Marcus's face, cold, closed, decided. Cameron had no power here. He left. He closed the door. He walked down the hallway. His children rejected him, just like he rejected them 6 years ago. This was his punishment. The visits continued every day. Zara brought the children at 10 in the morning. They stayed for 2 hours. Cameron tried to come 3 more times. Each time Marcus told him to leave. Each time Cameron left. On the 5th day, he stopped trying. He stayed away. It destroyed him. But he had no choice. Dorothy learned about her grandchildren during those visits. She learned that Marcus was protective. He always sat between Dorothy and his siblings. He always answered questions first. He watched Dorothy carefully, looking for signs of danger, signs of hate. Dorothy saw his distrust. She understood it. Isaiah was gentler. He felt sorry for Dorothy. She was sick, dying. He drew her a picture on the 7th day. A picture of a bird. He gave it to her without saying anything. Dorothy cried. She taped it to the wall next to her bed. "Thank you, Isaiah. I'll keep this forever." Amara asked questions. Hard questions. On the 9th day, she asked, "Do you hate black people?" Dorothy did not lie. "I was taught to think I was better than black people. I was taught wrong things. I believed them for a long time. I treated people badly because of their skin color. That was wrong. I'm sorry." "Do you hate us?" "No, I don't hate you. I love you. But I didn't give myself a chance to love you before. I judged you without knowing you. That was cruel. Mommy says you can't love someone you don't know." Dorothy looked at Zara. Zara's face showed nothing. Dorothy looked back at Amara. "Your mother is right. I don't know you. Not really. But I'm trying to know you now. And the more I know, the more I love." Amara thought about this. "I don't know if I love you. You're just an old lady who was mean to my mommy." "That's fair. You don't have to love me. You don't have to forgive me." Dorothy apologized constantly during the visits. She said sorry at least 10 times each day. Marcus got tired of it. On the 12th day, he spoke sharply. "Saying sorry doesn't fix 6 years. You can say it 1,000,000 times. It doesn't change what you did." Dorothy nodded. "You're right. I can't fix it. I can't get back those years. I missed your first steps, your first words, your first days of school. I missed everything because I was hateful. I have to live with that. And you have to decide if you ever want anything to do with me." Marcus said nothing, but his face softened just a little. Just enough to show Dorothy that he heard her. Zara sat through every visit. She said very little. She did not forgive Dorothy. She did not have to. She was there for her children. Nothing else. Dorothy understood. She stopped trying to talk to Zara. She focused on the children, learning their favorite colors, their favorite foods, their dreams. On the 15th day, Dorothy looked different. More tired, more gray. The cancer was winning. She could barely sit up. The nurse said she had days left, maybe a week. Dorothy knew her time was ending. After Zara and the children left that day, Dorothy called her lawyer, Thomas Bradford. He came within an hour. "Thomas, I need to change my will, right now." Thomas Bradford sat in the chair beside Dorothy's bed. He was 70 years old. He had been the Walker family lawyer for 30 years. He knew all of Dorothy's secrets, all of Cameron's mistakes. He pulled out his laptop and opened a document. "What changes do you want to make?" Dorothy's voice was weak. She had to stop and breathe between words. "Everything goes to Marcus, Isaiah and Amara, my house in Beacon Hill, my savings, my stocks, my jewelry, everything. Put it in a trust for them." Thomas looked up. "What about Cameron?" "Nothing. He gets nothing." "Dorothy, are you sure? He's your only child. He made his choice 6 years ago. Now I'm making mine. Those children deserve better than what we gave them. They deserve everything I have." Thomas typed slowly. "The house alone is worth $2 million. Plus your savings and investments, we're talking about approximately $3.5 million total." "Good. They should have it. Their mother raised them alone. She worked 2 jobs. She gave them everything while Cameron sent money and pretended they didn't exist. Zara deserves help. The children deserve security." "Cameron will contest this. You know he will." "Let him try. I'm of sound mind. I know exactly what I'm doing. Write it clearly. Cameron Walker is removed from my will completely. Everything goes to Marcus Walker Thompson, Isaiah Walker Thompson, and Amara Walker Thompson. Zara Thompson is the trustee until they turn 18. Thomas finished typing. He printed the document. Dorothy signed it. Her hand shook, but her signature was clear. She dated it. Thomas signed as witness. The nurse signed as second witness. It was done. "Thank you, Thomas." "Dorothy, I have to ask, why now? Why not years ago?" "Because I was too proud, too stubborn, too hateful. I told myself I was protecting my family, but I was destroying it. I rejected 3 innocent babies because of their skin color. I made Cameron choose between love and money. He chose money. That's on him. But I gave him that choice. That's on me. This is the only thing I can do now. It won't fix what I broke, but it's something." Thomas put the will in his briefcase. "I'll file this today. It's official." After Thomas left, Dorothy lay in her bed. She felt her body shutting down. The cancer was everywhere now. Her lungs, her liver, her bones. She was drowning from the inside. The pain was constant. The nurses gave her medicine, but it barely helped. Dorothy knew she had days left, maybe hours. She thought about her life. 87 years. She had money, status, a big house, expensive things. But she had no family. Her husband died 30 years ago. Her son was weak and broken. Her grandchildren didn't know her. She was dying alone in this expensive room. All her money couldn't buy back 6 years, couldn't buy forgiveness, couldn't buy love. 2 days passed. Dorothy got worse. She couldn't sit up anymore. She could barely talk. The nurses increased her pain medicine. She slept most of the time. When she was awake, she saw shadows, heard voices. She was close to death. She could feel it. On the morning of the 18th day, Dorothy called the nurse. "Please, call Zara Thompson. Tell her I need to see the children one more time. Tell her it's the last time." The nurse called. Zara answered. The nurse explained that Dorothy was dying, today or tomorrow. She wanted to say goodbye. Zara was quiet. Then she said, "We'll come at noon." Zara told the children. They were at the hotel eating lunch. "Your grandmother is dying. She wants to see you one more time. To say goodbye. Do you want to go?" Marcus's face was hard. "No." "Isaiah? Amara?" Isaiah looked down. "I guess. She's really sick. It feels mean to say no." Amara nodded. "I'll go." Zara looked at Marcus. "You don't have to go. You can stay here. But this is the last chance. After today, you'll never see her again." Marcus thought about it. He didn't want to forgive Dorothy. He didn't want to love her. But something in him wanted to say goodbye, wanted to see the end. "Fine, I'll go, but I'm not going to cry." They arrived at Riverside Luxury Nursing Home at noon. The nurse met them at the entrance. Her face was sad. "She's very weak. She can barely speak. But she's awake. She's been waiting for you." They walked to room 112. Dorothy lay in the bed. She looked like she was already dead. Her skin was gray. Her breathing was loud and difficult. Each breath sounded painful. But her eyes were open. When she saw the children walk in, she smiled. It was a small smile, weak but real. "You came." Her voice was barely a whisper. Zara stood by the door. The children moved closer to the bed. They had never seen someone dying before. It scared them, but they didn't run away. They stayed. Dorothy looked at each child. "Thank you for coming. Thank you for these weeks. I know it wasn't long. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm glad I got to know you. Marcus, you're smart and strong. Take care of your family. Isaiah, you're kind and gentle. Never lose that. Amara, you're brave and beautiful. Keep singing." Amara started crying. She didn't know why, but tears ran down her face. Isaiah held her hand. Marcus stood still. His face showed nothing. Dorothy's breathing got harder. She struggled to talk. "Your father is weak, but he loves you. He's just too afraid to show it. That's not your fault. That's his failure. Don't wait for him. Live your lives. Be happy." "We will," Marcus said. His voice was cold but not cruel, just honest. Dorothy closed her eyes. "Thank you for coming. You can go now. I'm very tired." Zara gathered her children. They walked out of the room. As they left, Dorothy whispered, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." They drove back to the hotel. The children were quiet. That night, Zara put them to bed early. She sat in the dark room, waiting. She didn't know why. She just felt like something was ending. At 3 a.m, Dorothy died. A nurse found her. She was holding the picture Isaiah drew for her, the bird. She died alone. No family, no one holding her hand, just a nurse checking machines. The nurse called Cameron. He drove to the nursing home. He sat by his mother's body. She looked peaceful, finally free from pain. Cameron felt empty. His mother was dead. His wife left him. His children didn't know him. He had money but no family. He had everything and nothing. The funeral happened 3 days later. It was a cold day, gray clouds, wind. The service was at a cemetery in Boston. Expensive graves, rich, dead people. Cameron stood by the grave. He wore a black suit. His face was blank, empty. Jennifer didn't come. She filed for divorce 2 days ago. Cameron signed the papers without fighting. Dorothy's old friends came to the funeral. They were all white, all old, all rich. They whispered when they saw Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara. 3 black children at Dorothy Walker's funeral. What a scandal! They stared. They judged. Zara felt their eyes. She held her children close. The priest talked about Dorothy's life, her charity work, her family legacy. He didn't mention the 3 grandchildren she rejected. He didn't mention racism. He didn't mention regret. It was a clean funeral, polite, appropriate, fake. After the burial, people left. They went to their expensive cars, back to their big houses. Cameron stood alone by the grave. Workers started filling the hole with dirt. Dorothy's casket disappeared under soil. Cameron felt nothing, just empty. Zara walked toward the parking lot with her children. She wanted to leave, drive back to Atlanta, back to their real life. Cameron saw them leaving. Something broke inside him. He couldn't let them go, not like this. He ran toward them. His shoes slipped on the wet grass. "Zara, wait, please!" Zara stopped. She turned slowly. Cameron ran up to them. He was out of breath. His face was desperate, wild. He looked at his children, then at Zara. "Please, let me be their father. Let me try. I know I don't deserve it. I know I failed, but please, give me a chance." Zara looked at Cameron for a long moment. She studied his face. His desperate eyes, his shaking hands. She felt nothing. Not love, not hate. Just nothing. He was empty to her. A stranger. "You had 6 years." Cameron's face twisted. I know I did. But I was scared. I was weak. My mother controlled me. I didn't know how to fight her." "You had 6 years, Cameron. 6 years of birthdays. 6 years of first days of school. 6 years of nightmares and fevers and skinned knees. You could have called any day. You could have visited any weekend. You could have sent one birthday card, one letter, one picture, anything. But you didn't. I sent money. Every month. I made sure you had money." Zara's voice stayed flat, calm. "Money isn't love. Money isn't showing up. Money is easy. You sent checks and pretended that was enough. You chose your mother's racism over your own children. You were too weak to love them when it mattered. I can be better now. I can learn. Please, let me try." "No." The word fell like a stone. Final. Complete. Cameron felt his legs go weak. "Zara, please. You have to live with your choice forever. Every day for the rest of your life, you'll know you had 3 children, and you walked away. You'll know you chose money and comfort over them. You'll know they grew up without a father because you were too afraid to be one. That's your punishment. That's what you deserve." Marcus stepped forward. He looked at Cameron. This 6-year-old boy with his father's face looked at the man who left him. "We don't need you. We never needed you. We have Mom. She's enough. She's always been enough." Cameron reached out his hand toward Marcus. Marcus stepped back. "Don't touch me. You don't get to touch me. You're nobody to us." Zara put her hand on Marcus's shoulder. She looked at Cameron one more time. "Goodbye, Cameron." She walked away. She held Amara's hand. Marcus and Isaiah walked beside her. They got in their car. Cameron stood in the cemetery parking lot. He watched them drive away. Marcus looked back once through the rear window. His face showed nothing. No anger, no sadness, nothing. Then he turned around. The car disappeared down the road. Cameron stood there, alone. His mother was buried behind him. His wife was gone. His children just drove away. He had money in the bank. He had a nice apartment. He had a good job. But he had no family, no one who loved him, no one who needed him. He was alone. Cameron went back to his apartment that night. Jennifer had taken all her things. The place was half empty. Pictures were gone from the walls. Her clothes were gone from the closet. The apartment felt dead. Cameron sat on the couch. He didn't turn on lights. He just sat in the dark. He thought about Marcus's words. "You're nobody to us." It was true. He was nobody. He helped make them. But he didn't raise them. He didn't know them. He was just a man who sent money. A ghost. A stranger. Zara drove through the night. She wanted to get out of Boston. She wanted to get as far away as possible. The children fell asleep in the back seat. Zara drove in silence. She felt tired. So tired. But also relieved. It was over. Dorothy was dead. Cameron was behind them. They could go home and forget this trip ever happened. They stopped at a rest stop in Connecticut. Zara got coffee. The children woke up. They used the bathroom. They got back in the car. They drove through the night. Through Connecticut. Through New York. Through New Jersey. Through Pennsylvania. Zara stopped at a motel when the sun came up. They slept for a few hours. Then they drove again. Through Maryland. Through Virginia. Through North Carolina. Back into South Carolina. Finally, into Georgia. They arrived in Atlanta in the evening. Zara pulled into their apartment complex. Home. Their small apartment. Their normal life. The children ran inside. They were happy to be home, happy to see their toys, their beds, their things. Zara stood in the doorway. She felt tears coming. She let them fall. It was over. 3 weeks later, Zara got a phone call. It was Thomas Bradford, Dorothy's lawyer. He said he needed to meet with her. Something about Dorothy's will. Zara agreed. They met at a coffee shop, the same one where she met Robert Chen. Thomas pulled out papers. Dorothy changed her will 2 days before she died. She left everything to your children. Everything. Her house in Beacon Hill is worth $2 million. Her savings and investments total approximately $1.5 million more. The total inheritance is about $3.5 million. Zara couldn't breathe. What? It's all in a trust for Marcus, Isaiah, and Amara. You're the trustee. You control the money until they turn 18. The house will be sold. The money will be added to the trust. You can use it for their education, their housing, their needs, whatever they require. What about Cameron? He gets nothing. Dorothy removed him completely from the will. Zara sat back in her chair. $3.5 million. Her children would never struggle. They would never worry about money. They could go to good schools, good colleges. They would have everything. Dorothy's final act. Not forgiveness, not redemption, but something. Zara cried in the coffee shop. Thomas handed her tissues. I know this doesn't fix what happened. It doesn't erase 6 years, but Dorothy wanted to help. This was the only way she knew how. Thank you for telling me. The money will be transferred within 30 days. I'll send you all the paperwork. If you have any questions, call me. Zara drove home. She told her sister Nicole. Nicole screamed. She hugged Zara. You can stop working 2 jobs. You can spend time with your babies. You can breathe. That night, Zara sat with her children. She told them about the inheritance. They didn't fully understand. They were 6 years old. $3.5 million meant nothing to them. But Zara understood. She could stop working nights. She could be home for dinner. She could help with homework. She could be present. Really present. Your grandmother left you money. A lot of money. She wanted to help you. She wanted to give you a good life. Does that mean she loved us? Amara asked. Zara thought about it. I think she tried to love you. She didn't know how at first. But at the end, she tried. That's something. Marcus said nothing. He didn't care about the money. He didn't care about Dorothy. He just wanted his normal life back. The money came through 30 days later. Zara quit her night job. She worked only at the hospital. Day shifts. She was home every evening. She cooked dinner. She helped with homework. She read bedtime stories. She was there. The children noticed. They were happier, more relaxed. In Boston, Cameron learned about the will. His mother left him nothing. Everything went to the children he abandoned. Cameron felt anger at first, then emptiness. His mother's final message was clear. You failed. You don't deserve anything. Cameron started therapy. His therapist asked him to write letters to his children, letters he would never send. Cameron wrote them, pages and pages. Apologies, regrets, stories about his own childhood. He never sent a single one. He kept them in a drawer. They sat there, unread. Cameron created fake social media accounts. He followed Zara online. He saw pictures of his children, Marcus at a science fair, Isaiah's drawings in a school art show, Amara singing at a concert. Cameron saw his children growing up through a screen. He was a ghost in their lives, watching from far away, never participating, never there. Years passed. The children turned 7, then 8, then 9. They stopped asking about their father. They stopped thinking about him. He was just a story from when they were young. The man who left. The man who wasn't strong enough to stay. They had their mother. They had each other. That was enough. Cameron sent birthday cards every year. The children never opened them. Zara threw them away. He had his chance. He made his choice. On Zara's 40th birthday, she sat with her children. They were 13 years old now. Teenagers. Marcus was tall, serious, smart. Isaiah was creative, artistic, gentle. Amara was strong, confident, beautiful. They were good kids, great kids. Zara raised them right. Marcus asked a question. "Mom, do you ever think about our father?" Zara was surprised. They hadn't talked about Cameron in years. "Sometimes. Why? Do you hate him?" Zara thought about it. "No, hate takes too much energy. I just feel sorry for him." "Why do you feel sorry for him?" "Because he had a family and he threw it away. He had you three. He could have known you. He could have watched you grow up. He could have been part of your lives. But he chose to walk away. Now he has to live with that choice forever. That's the worst punishment of all." Marcus thought about his mother's words. He made his choice. We made ours. We're better off without him. "You really think that?" Zara asked. "Yes. I don't wonder about him anymore. I used to, when I was little, but not anymore. He's just a person who doesn't exist in our lives." Isaiah nodded. "I tried to hate him, but I can't hate someone I don't know. He's just nobody to me." Amara added, "We have everything we need. We have you, Mom. We have each other. What would he add to our lives? Nothing." Zara felt proud. Her children were strong, whole, complete. They didn't carry bitterness. They didn't wait for a father who would never come. They just lived their lives. Happy lives. In Boston, Cameron sat in his apartment. It was a different apartment now, smaller. After the divorce, Jennifer took half of everything. Cameron moved to a one-bedroom place in a cheaper neighborhood. He still worked as a lawyer, still made good money. But his life was small, empty. Every night, Cameron looked at social media on his phone. He found Zara's account years ago. She posted pictures of the children. Not often, maybe once a month. But Cameron waited for those posts. They were his only connection to his children, his only window into their lives. Last week, Zara posted a picture of Marcus. He won first place at a regional science competition. He stood holding a trophy. He looked confident, smart, proud. Cameron stared at the picture for an hour. His son, brilliant, successful. Marcus looked so much like Cameron did at that age, but Marcus was stronger, better. Everything Cameron never was. 2 months ago, there was a picture of Isaiah, an art show at his school. His drawings hung on a wall. People stood looking at them. Isaiah's talent was real, beautiful. Cameron zoomed in on each drawing, tried to understand what his son was thinking, what his son felt, but he couldn't. He didn't know Isaiah. He never would. Last month, Amara, singing at a school concert. She stood on stage in a blue dress, confident, powerful. Her voice carried through the auditorium. Someone recorded it and posted it online. Cameron watched it 20 times. His daughter could sing, really sing. She had a gift. Cameron cried watching it. He cried because he would never hear her sing in person, never see her perform, never tell her how proud he was. Cameron wrote letters still, every week. He had boxes of them now, hundreds of letters, all unsent. Letters to Marcus, letters to Isaiah, letters to Amara. He told them about his days, his regrets, his memories. He wrote about their grandfather, their great-grandparents, family history they would never know. He wrote about loving them from far away, about watching them grow through pictures, about wishing things were different. But he never sent the letters. They sat in boxes, unread, meaningless. Cameron sent birthday cards every year. 3 cards every December 20th. The triplets' birthday. Expensive cards. He wrote simple messages. Happy birthday. I think about you every day. Love, Dad. But he wasn't their dad. He was just Cameron. The man who left. The cards came back sometimes. Returned to sender. Other times, they just disappeared. Thrown away. Never opened. Cameron kept sending them anyway. Not because he thought it would change anything, but because he needed to do something. Even something meaningless. Cameron dated sometimes. Women he met at work. Through friends. They never lasted. The women asked about his family. Cameron told the truth now. He had 3 children. He left them when they were babies. He hadn't seen them in years. The women always left. Who wants to date a man who abandoned his own children? Who wants to love someone that weak? Cameron thought about Dorothy often. His mother. She died 7 years ago. But her words stayed with him. You are still lying, still hiding, just like I taught you. She was right. Cameron spent his whole life hiding. Hiding from hard choices, hiding from consequences, hiding from himself. His mother created his weakness. But Cameron owned it. He chose it. Every single day for 13 years, he chose to stay away. That was on him. In Atlanta, life moved forward. Zara worked at Emory University Hospital. Day shifts only. She was home every evening. Home for dinner. Home for homework. Home for bedtime. Present. The money from Dorothy's estate sat in a trust. Zara used it carefully. She moved the children to a better school. A private school with small classes and good teachers. She bought a small house, 3 bedrooms, a yard. Nothing fancy, but theirs. She saved the rest for college. For the future. For security. Marcus excelled at everything. Top of his class. Science awards. Math competitions. He wanted to study astrophysics in college. He already knew which universities he would apply to. MIT, Stanford, Caltech. He would get in. Zara knew he would. Marcus was driven, focused, strong. Isaiah was different, quieter, artistic. He spent hours drawing, painting, creating. His teachers said he had real talent. He could go to art school, make a career of it. Isaiah wasn't sure what he wanted yet, but he had time. He was only 13. Zara told him he didn't have to decide now. Just explore, learn, grow. Amara was the most social. She had many friends. She sang in the school choir. She played soccer. She was loud and confident and fearless. Boys called the house. Zara had to set rules. No dating until 16. Amara argued. Zara held firm. Amara respected it. She respected her mother. They all did. People asked the children about their father sometimes. Other kids at school. Teachers who didn't know their history. The triplets had a standard answer. He lives far away. We don't see him. Simple. True. No emotion. They didn't owe anyone their story. They didn't owe anyone their pain. One day, Marcus came home from school upset. He was 14 now, taller than Zara. His voice had dropped. He looked like a man, but he was still her baby. Zara saw his face. Something was wrong. What happened? Marcus sat at the kitchen table. A kid at school asked about Dad. I gave my normal answer, but he kept pushing. He said I must be angry. I must hate him. I must want to find him and confront him. What did you say? I said I don't think about him. The kid didn't believe me. He said everyone thinks about their parents, even absent ones. He said I must have anger inside. Do you? Marcus thought about it. No, not anymore. I did when I was little. When we went to Boston, when I met him. I was so angry then. But that anger is gone. I just don't care. He's irrelevant to my life. Zara nodded. That's healthy. You don't have to carry anger. You don't have to carry anything for him." The kid said that's sad. He said it's sad that I don't care about my own father. What do you think? I think it's sad that my father doesn't know me. That's his loss, not mine. I have a good life. I have you. I have Isaiah and Amara. I have friends and school and a future. What would he add to any of that? Nothing. He's nobody. Zara hugged her son. You're right, and I'm proud of you for understanding that. Years continued to pass. The children turned 15, 16, 17. They grew into young adults. Marcus got accepted to MIT, full scholarship. He would study astrophysics, his dream. Isaiah got accepted to the Rhode Island School of Design, art school, his dream. Amara wanted to study music. She was applying to Berklee College of Music in Boston. Her dream, Boston. Amara would be in the same city as Cameron. Zara felt strange about it, but she said nothing. Amara was 18, an adult. She could make her own choices. If she wanted to find Cameron, that was her decision. If she didn't, that was also her decision. The triplets graduated high school. Zara cried at the ceremony. Her babies, all grown up, ready for college, ready for life. She raised them alone. She worked hard. She sacrificed everything. And they turned out perfect, strong, smart, kind, whole. They didn't need a father. They never did. That night, Zara stood in the doorway of their bedrooms. They were packing for college. Marcus's room was full of science books. Isaiah's room was full of art supplies. Amara's room was full of sheet music. They were leaving, starting their own lives. Zara felt proud and sad at the same time. She whispered to herself, "We made it. Just us. And we made it." Marcus heard her. He came to the doorway. "We made it because of you, Mom. You gave us everything. You were enough. You were always enough." Isaiah and Amara joined them. They stood together, a family. Not perfect, not traditional, but theirs, built from love, from sacrifice, from showing up every single day. "I love you three more than anything in this world," Zara said. "We love you too," they said together. In Boston, Cameron sat in his apartment. He was 45 years old now, gray hair, tired eyes, alone. He saw on social media that his children graduated high school, all three going to college, Marcus to MIT, Isaiah to RISD, Amara to Berkeley, all in the Northeast, close to Boston, close to him, but still unreachable, still strangers. Cameron thought about reaching out. Maybe now that they were adults, they would listen. Maybe now they would give him a chance. But he knew the truth. They made their decision years ago. He was nobody to them, and he always would be. Cameron lived with his choice every day. Every morning he woke up alone. Every night he went to bed alone. He had money. He had a job. He had an apartment. But he had no family. No one who needed him. No one who loved him. His punishment wasn't prison, wasn't poverty. It was this: living with the knowledge that he had everything and threw it away. Living with the faces of three children he would never know. Living with regret that would never fade. That was his life now. That would be his life forever. Some choices cannot be undone. Some damage cannot be repaired. Dorothy tried to fix her mistake at the end, but she died with guilt. Cameron would spend the rest of his life the same way. And Zara? She stood in her house in Atlanta, watching her three beautiful children pack for college, finally at peace with the family they built from the ruins of abandonment. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen